of our Wook Plus election 2020 coverage. As we know, nothing has changed. The math is still working in Biden's favor. We're just waiting for somebody to make a call. Right now, Biden winning the largest vote share of any White House challenger in 30 years. That's coming straight from MSNBC. So you know it's true. So we have a special guest on this week's episode. We have from Philadelphia, the Wook. It took a minute there to come in. How are you doing and holding up in this election? Are you out celebrating?
What's up, Llama? Yeah, no, we're pumped. Great, it was a great day today, great night. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be a while before they call it. Even though anyone has any ability to do any level of math knows that this shit is over. But we'll party. We'll wait. We're patient. We've gotten through this far, right? A little bit further.
Well, I know that much hasn't been said of Baltimore, but I still feel like we need to check in on Kev over there in Baltimore. Kev, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Maryland's easy. Maryland always goes for the fucking blue guy. So,
so Maryland's big Smurf fans?
Yes, I don't have to stress. We're like brainy Smurf down here, where Pennsylvania's like Gargamel's cat.
Well, it's nice to see that this long election hasn't stretched out any of your imagination there, Kev.
No, yes, I think that it's one of those things. Can you control it? You can't control it. You just got to fucking roll with it and watch Trey at the Beacon.
That's wise words. Now let's cross over the country and check in on the world's greatest Chad and see how he's doing. Chad, how are you holding up tonight?
Whoa!
All right,
fuck yeah,
Chad.
Wisconsin! Fuck yeah, Wisconsin! Fuck yeah! What? Fuck yeah, Michigan! Woo!
I will say I was worried about the Midwest there, but you guys pulled through. I do appreciate that.
Woo!
Were you guys really worried? Oh, wait, sorry. Finish your introductions.
Yeah. And last but not least, from the other side of Los Angeles, let's welcome T Strong. T, how's it going?
Hi, friends. How is everybody?
Well,
chillest motherfucker ever.
Yeah, right?
Everybody else is freaked out on that a little bit. Come on, man. I put myself out there.
If this happened on Tuesday night or like Wednesday morning, I would have been like, yeah. But it's like each day my energy's just been like whittling away.
It's a long week.
Oh my God. Sure. I will admit straight up, I have drank so much this week, it's completely unhealthy.
I found that I've been drinking when I woke up. I've been like starting to drink at like 8 in the morning, and then I'm asleep by 12. And then when I wake up at like 4 in the afternoon, I'm like, I really don't want to drink, and I can get into being an ass on Twitter.
Maybe you should flip that. Be an ass in the morning and drink at night like the rest of us.
Maybe.
What are you talking about? You guys don't wake up to those lovely asshole DMs that he sends you in the morning when he's drunk?
That's just for you. What the fuck? Get off my lawn. So what are we thinking there, math man? Arizona is worrying me. It looks like it's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, so I mean, right now where it stands, the hurdle that Trump needs is a little over 58% of the remaining ballots. There's about 213,000 ballots. And he's averaging 57, nearly 58. So it's going to be, I think it's probably going to end up being like a Georgia result. But the thing is, the AP was super aggressive on it. They called it really early. They don't want to retract it. So that's why I think Nevada is slow rolling it. They're slow building it worse than any Piper, because if with only 6 electoral votes behind with Arizona called, Nevada would push them over the edge, and that would cause chaos if Trump ended up flipping it. So the Western states are just going to wait until the East saves the day again. And Philadelphia, Philadelphia is going to fucking save the day, and then they'll call Nevada. And
Fox called Arizona too.
I know. Well, I think they were probably taking the lead from AP. I'm not sure who did it first, but both of them were aggressive on it.
I think I think with Mark Kelly winning pretty decisively that Senate seat, I think that told them something that maybe was not there yet.
They thought they saw something, but
yeah, but they forgot that everybody hates Martha McSally, so that's why Mark Kelly.
Didn't she like lose twice in a row? Is
Yeah,
that
it was like
Yeah, she was the
gonna
loser and
every
got
other year.
appointed.
Yeah,
She got appointed to Flake seat when he flaked out.
It's what
'Cause
I
he
want to know
had,
is why they haven't called fucking Alaska yet. Like that's just in the way there. It's just
I
call
told
it
you
and get it off the
a
list.
moose accidentally trampled over their only line of communication to the lower 48.
I'll go ahead and call Alaska right now. It's Republican. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they received their first report 2 days ago, and there's been nothing out of Alaska since.
Well, I mean, dog sled's a hell of a way to vote, you know?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. You know what I'm excited about? I mean, aside from getting rid of the fascists, that's really awesome. But I'm really excited to start Christmas season this year. I was just talking to my wife. I was like, with the whole 2020 fuck up of
'Cause
the
he's got a-
calendar,
you got
I
a
think we could get
kid.
the tree in here in the next week.
That's a
It's
kid.
Hell
funny.
yeah.
I almost wore my Santa hat because he said that earlier on the text thread, and I was going through and I was grabbing a hat and I was sitting next to it. I was like, I should just throw that one on since it is.
Hell yeah, man.
Wook already brought it
You know
up.
what? I'm most excited that we have all 5 of us on a Friday night.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Rare.
For that too.
Yeah, we're making this show decent.
All right, Tim, are you gonna do you do
Or
outside
killing
lights?
it.
Tim, do you do
Uh,
outside?
So I'm in a townhouse.
So, you ain't got
So
much
I'm
to
not
do.
allowed to technically hang them, but what we do is we outline the windows and slider and door from the inside, but it
Right.
looks on the outside like everything's picture frames.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do my bushes. We have the nets for the bushes, the whole 9 yards. But I'm in a townhouse too, just on a corner, so I have extra.
Yeah,
real
more
estate.
frontage.
I have.
We're gonna
a-
go nuts though. I'm gonna do the village
Okay,
and the
man.
tree, and I'm gonna get the fake snow. And we're gonna get a train for Evie that just like she can like sit in. I mean, it's only a
Oh.
townhouse. I don't really have the square footage for it,
a
but fuck
train
it,
to
right?
sit in. I got a Polar Express train from Kohl's a few years ago. That's just on a track, but that was cool for them because they saw the movie.
Guys,
Well,
Yes.
and now that Evie's that age, she must love Christmas. You can go acid for her.
Poor,
Awesome.
poor Llama's political show. We're
Sorry,
talking about
Llama.
Christmas gifts.
no, that's fine, but
I love that
We're-
Llama's about to
Bye.
try to get us back on the rails.
right.
And I
Let's
also
not
love
set
that
up
I'm not
for him to
hosting
get you on
tonight.
the
Like
rails.
it's like fuck it.
Right, it's his show.
I just want to
people.
say this is my show, and in my show, we respect Thanksgiving.
Amen,
Yeah.
Llama. I'm with you.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, but we can celebrate Thanksgiving with Christmas decorations up. It's
Yes.
2020. It's all acceptable.
I will allow that, but we're not.
Pretty
gonna
soon
spend
we're
the
going to
next
get
10
the St.
minutes talking
Patrick's
about
Day and
Christmas.
Easter, and the virus is going to disappear, and we're all going to be fine. So,
Like,
You
I,
know.
I
some kind
thought
yeah, poof.
I thought that the virus was supposed to disappear after the election because it was a hoax.
Oh, is that why we haven't got the election results yet? They haven't
Right.
made the virus disappear.
Right? Yeah.
Did you see the overlay of the heat map for the virus and the
where Trump
electoral
rallies
map,
were?
like with like the red? Yeah.
Let me
So
guess.
that's an interesting
Big
point. I don't know why I'm pretending like I'm like some pundit, but like I've been consuming this shit 24/7. And so this is an interesting thing out of the last few days. Omaha, Nebraska too, really is that was the turn point, right? That's what changed the whole trend for all of this. And that was the rally that he left all his followers out in the cold overnight or like for like 6 hours. So that single rally really I mean, it's just the way it's
fucked
perceived because
himself.
all the votes were already in at that point, but the way the momentum went all came down to that single rally.
Yeah, but you know what's not lost on me though is that more people voted for either candidate than in any election ever. And yes, populations grow, and that's always going to kind of happen. But I was shocked that fucker got 70 million votes. By that fucker, I mean the orange baboon.
Shocked, I tell
Yeah.
you, shocked.
I
don't know
think
if I
that's
was
the
shocked.
biggest problem with this is like I think everybody was secretly hoping that it would have been like a 300 to whatever like sweep. Like we would have decisively said we've had it as a country. with-
Yeah.
Well, what do
I
you
think it's
about-
still fairly a decisive mandate, though. It didn't feel as rewarding the way the votes are coming out. But Pennsylvania is going to end up with like a 60,000 voter split, like margin. Like,
But we
Right,
aren't
but I
getting-
guess
they
Trump
aren't getting
won
the Senate.
Wisconsin
It's
and
this
Michigan
close
by
is
a third
disheartening.
of that
Yeah.
But they aren't getting the Senate.
last time.
Where's the mandate with losing House seats and not getting the Senate?
Well, because I'll tell you where the mandate is because we had to claw every fucking vote that we could in with Trump on the ballot. So I'm like, the mandate is that like they tried to disenfranchise, cheat, rob, steal, lie their
Suppress,
way
yeah.
to election, still won.
And the mandate's not, I hate to tell all of like the liberal followers and us and you guys and me, but like the mandate isn't for progressive values. The mandate is for decency and against Trump. And that's why it wasn't reflective in the House and Senate. If anything, from the people I've been talking to locally, and this is anecdotal, but I think that's why we didn't win the Senate is because they wanted a check. I know a lot of Republican conservative people that are sick of Trump, but wanted a check on the crazy Bernie bros and AOC people. So they're like, listen, I'm voting for Biden, but I'm going to make sure they don't get the Senate because I want decency, but I also want checks.
How quick can I get on Biden's ass?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, that's you.
Right now, he's fucking president-elect.
You in a nutshell. I mean, that's like he just kind of described you. I think a lot of Republicans left the top of the ticket blank and voted down the ballot.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they either split ballot or they just left the top blank.
I think they left the top blank, to be honest with you. I've heard enough.
Well, we'll get those numbers out. They always do those. They don't have all the votes in yet, but they'll break down those numbers.
So the Joe Jorgensen voters were taken from Trump, right?
Yeah, but she really this year, I think, had a very minimal impact on the election compared to 2016, where it was. Yeah, and it was noticeable. Like I think it actually both Green Party and Libertarian had a noticeable impact on the results. I don't think
like
Joe
Nader in 2000. They were blaming him for years for Gore losing.
No, Nader was 90 was the Bush reelection. The first
Nader was 2000. The Bush reelection. You're thinking of Ross Perot.
Ross Perot. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
You're right.
92, exactly. That would have been a more apt, I think.
Right.
Dude, they both have huge ears.
Can we put a pause here for a second?
Yeah.
Can we talk? I've never seen Llama in a tie before, and I just want to
I love it.
Oh yeah, man.
How often do you wear a tie?
Exactly once a year. I wore one on my wedding, and now I'm wearing one this year.
Well, that's fine. Did you get married this year?
I got married last year.
Okay, all right. Okay,
that's why it's once a year.
I used to
today's the big day.
Wait, so isn't Biden giving a speech tonight?
At 8.
We'll be done with that, right? Oh,
yeah.
So you're gonna watch the speech or you're gonna watch the Beacon? And do you think the Beacon will pause?
Watch Trey.
We're watching the Beacon.
Yeah, I don't need to hear what Biden says because it'll be on an endless loop on
I don't
Twitter
need to hear from that fucking moderate.
Kevin's
done. Kevin's
done now, yeah.
I voted.
Look, I voted for you. What else do you want, man? Come on.
What do you want from me? Because I do not. You know that. You guys. This is funny. I don't know if this is public knowledge, but Tim and Chad thought I was a Trump guy because I was talking shit about Biden back in February, and then they were like, "Oh wait, he's way to the left."
Well, it's one of those two things. You were either far to the right or far to the left. We knew you were nowhere near the center. We just weren't sure which side you were on. I think Kevin is going to have a stroke over the next year when Biden goes above and beyond to be like unifying and apologetic. You know what I mean? And like centrist. Every time he says anything like that, we're just gonna have to hear it from Kevin, just like dying a little bit.
It's gonna be just like what Ford did with Nixon, you know. And then,
no.
This is where the old
Ford,
vets.
Henry Ford, Gerald Ford, like this is all before Llama.
Gerald Ford.
Oh, Hank.
Good old Hank Ford.
Gerald Ford, who
Fucking
lost
boomer.
to Jimmy Carter, our greatest president.
No, I said this before. If you want to make that analogy, Kevin, here's where I'll give it to you, is that the smart thing for Trump to do right now is to resign, make Pence president for the next 2 months, and pardon him and his whole family. and then let Biden take over. I've been saying this for fucking months.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's not that smart. He's too.
That would mean he
egotistical.
would have to admit defeat and admit wrongdoing, and both of those he's not going to do.
He needs.
And when you threaten somebody threaten somebody with jail,
No, he has the Epstein thing. He thinks he's untouchable. People from that background in that world, that it's not like us, man. They don't think like that. He does. I guarantee you, not once did he consider going to jail. Everybody's like, oh, he's afraid. No, he doesn't think he's going to jail. He thinks he's above that.
I think Trump is going to stay in office and do everything he can to fucking damage this country. He's going to appoint people to lifetime posts. He's going to fucking go balls out. If I'm going down, you all are going down with
It's like
me.
when you find out you've lost the deposits, so you just fuck your college apartment up.
Right? Yes, exactly. He's going to smear.
Are we
smear,
speaking from experience?
He's going to smear poop on the walls when he leaves.
I was going to go more like burn the earth, salt the ground territory, like Russia, Germany. But yeah, okay, that analogy works too. That's fine.
No, I just picture him shitting on the living room floor, though. Like that's what he's doing to the U.S. He's not salting the ground. He's like legitimately just shitting on our living room floor, and it's like, come on, man, really?
What's the over under on executive orders he writes between now and January 20th?
Is there a limit on his EOs now with a lame duck? Like, is a lame duck president have the same abilities?
He's going to open up California to drilling. He's going to say, you guys can drill off the coast of California. Fuck you, California.
Yeah, but I will point out that I don't know what the exact number is, but I want to say over half of his executive orders have zero fucking impact on policy whatsoever. They're just pieces of paper that he signed.
Well, they're trying to get a reaction out of people. The best thing all of us can do is just pretend like he's not there. Just completely ignore him. Don't watch him talk. Don't listen to him. Don't react to him. Don't tweet about him. Let's move on to Kevin being pissed at Papa Joe. And it never happened.
Whoa.
We're just moving
on.
Hold
on. He's moved from Uncle Joe to Papa Joe.
I don't know. It feels like, when the dad comes home,
Papa Smurf,
and puts everything in order.
It's like you can't have the crazy old uncle as president, but dad, that's all right. He's restoring peace.
I just have to say, I have my phone on speaker view right now, so I'm only seeing one of you at a time. And every time Travis pops on with that damn Santa hat and doesn't say a damn word, he's just laughing. It brings such joy.
I was going to say that that's a good point, Tim, because last night when Trump tried to speak and all the networks cut him off, it's such a nice thing to see now and fact check him. And the more you do that now, the easier, it's that the dying wizard's voice of I'm still here, but no one's listening to anymore. Yeah, go away. Your time's done.
It is going to be so nice. Satisfying for him not to get the reaction.
Totally. And that whole thing, Twitter even said they'd start suspending him once he's not president anymore if he keeps tweeting like that. Can you imagine that? What he would do if he loses that voice?
It's so good.
I'm imagining Trump with a burner account. Like Kevin Durant. Just getting on, saying his shit.
With his fake name that no one would ever suspect it's him.
Right.
Well,
right.
What was the guy's
Barron?
name? What was the press guy's name he used to use?
John Barron.
Exactly.
So
Carlos
another interesting thing about him on Twitter, he didn't get close to the number of followers to vote for him. He has 80 million followers.
They're half bots.
88 million, and he only got 60 million votes.
Well, yeah, because we were saying, a bunch of them are dead too from COVID.
Oh wow, that was darker than I was gonna go.
Well, 250,000 people, and a lot of those are in his realm.
They were all followers.
Not all of them, but you're definitely looking at a majority for sure.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. I'm so tired of it. Fucking devastating. We laugh and joke, and it's good because it's therapeutic, and this is a fun show. But every step of this last 4 years, every step of the way has been really fucked up, and kind of he was starting. I don't know if you guys remember when he was starting to talk about the mental health aspect of COVID as an excuse to ignore it. We're oh, we have to open up because of mental health, and I was just thinking to myself, you legitimately have fucked up the mental health of hundreds of thousands of Americans. Don't you dare say that. So I think we all need to take it, move forward and have that relief on our minds, just get away from him and just get back to some sense of, I don't know.
I want a reckoning.
Of course,
Reckoning, huh? I see.
I
I think
know.
everybody. I think that might be part of the problem. Is that like so many people in this country want like a karmic justice to happen,
It's not gonna
and
happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No,
either.
I don't either.
And the more you fight for that, the deeper the divide is going to be, and the harder
Yeah.
it's going to be to recover from this.
He's going to cut a
Right.
deal to not be prosecuted, and he'll leave office. And when he leaves office, he'll say, "I'm leaving office, but I really won," and he will stick with that. And the next day after he leaves office, he's going to say, "I'm running in 2024."
Or
Yeah,
Ivanka or Don Jr. But
John Jr. Yeah, I was say I'll be Junior.
But see, the thing is, and this is where I'm going to maybe piss some of you off. He's a dumb fuck, but I sincerely don't think all of his followers are dumb fucks. I know I've been really outspoken on like Twitter and shit, like being harsh on him, but there's a lot of people that either have fallen for the con or have legitimate gripes with the system, and he spoke to their
or
pain
live in
and
the
their
echo
fear.
chamber. They live in the echo chamber of the Midwest, where Fox News is it, and everybody talks about the same thing.
Or are just really
Whoa,
hardcore
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Republicans.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
They're
whoa.
there's also still like really hardcore Republicans, especially like Orange County Republicans out here and stuff. Like it's legitimately
Yeah, and there was people that spent their entire life working their nuts off because they were told if they work hard, that is how they were going to succeed. And capitalism failed them, and the wealth distribution got fucked up. But instead of blaming the right reasons that it got fucked up, those reasons happen to control their media, so they blamed the government and they blamed the Democrats. The point is, whatever it is, I'm sure it's all these things. The point is that I don't want to anymore blame all of the followers, right? I want us to have a step forward. I have no problem blaming him. He should rot in fucking jail, and he's a disgusting person.
I tweeted
But
the other day that I loved everyone, no matter
branch
what.
out to the followers.
So what about like fans, like just in our community, who are Trump people? Like let's face it, there's Trumpers in the fish.
Oh, there's
Hanson.
a ton of Republican fish fans.
How?
And there's even more Republican deadheads.
The thing is, you don't talk about that shit. You go see fish, you talk about what the best Carini was. You don't talk about Biden and Trump when you're there or whatever the fuck it is. That's how I see it. I don't go there to talk about politics. I go there to argue with fucking young
That's
Ryan
what
about
life used
Chuck
to be
torture.
like before
Right.
Trump, right? That's what was beautiful
think-
about it, is you
I
could
think that's-
compartmentalize it.
Right, but I don't think you can anymore now because somebody at
know.
the show is going to be on Twitter, and there's going to be something on Twitter, and it's going to spur a conversation in the moment.
Yeah, I know it's
It's
tough.
the world that we live in now. It can't
We're
all
ignoring-
be observed.
We're ignoring something huge here. Kevin, what's the best Carini?
What is the best Carini?
You brought it up.
The Hampton one.
Which
Wrong.
Hampton one?
Wrong.
Well, okay. Well, what do you got?
Anything else but that one.
Are you pulling a llama?
No, he's doing the. We're turning into Crossfire, guys. Let's move on.
Well, don't we have guests, Llama?
Wait, I got homework for everybody.
Okay.
Oh,
So
shit.
to honor the brotherly love, I don't know what they call it, but the city that saved America, I want everybody to listen to 12/2/97 tonight. It's a Spectrum show, and it is fucking fire. It's absolutely
The next
one of the
night
best
was
shows.
better.
What?
The next night was better. The Bowie the next night still makes me horny.
All right. Listen
But the
to either
12-2
one.
show was. I was
Listen
at
to either
both
one.
of them.
It's fine. Whatever,
Right.
man.
I was at both of them. The 12-2 has the Mike song. Right? Isn't the 12-2 the one with the Mike song?
Yeah, Mike's in a simple.
Yes, yes.
I was about to jump into Ween, Freedom of 76, but never mind.
How about Philadelphia Freedom? Come on,
So
Trey.
burnt out, all that brotherly love shit. I'm like, nah, fuck it. Kevin interrupted me. He's like, oh, the next one's better. I'm like, fuck all you guys.
The coolest thing today were the videos of people dancing in the streets in Philly. Like,
Okay.
fuck you.
I have a little bit of like I've been to Atlanta so many times, like that's just normal. Like that's almost like an everyday thing. Like just celebrations like that. Like, is that not a thing in Philly? Like
It is. It just usually
It's not
involves
that
more
There
flipping
you
of
go.
cars and eating horse shit and climbing poles and fences.
Yeah, Biden isn't officially president until somebody in Philly eats horse shit.
I mean, for that reason, people eat horse
Well-
shit in Philly all the time, but specifically celebrating Biden flipping the state.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that the
And somebody
secret
eats a bunch of
ingredient?
pot.
And the cheesesteaks down there. What are the two? Pat's and Geno's.
They're not the two best at all.
No,
but
horse
they're
shits.
the two most famous. You want to bring Joel in? Do you want me to bring Joel in?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Bring
we got
Joel. in.
Joel?
Yeah. We're gonna check in on Joel. See how South Carolina's holding up.
Oh boy.
South Carolina's gonna be in a sea of red one day. I mean, sea of blue one day.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the furthest thing from blue.
Freedom of the all right, I'll stop.
Joel, how are you doing on no video?
And then, yeah.
Maybe he's on it. I don't know.
Is he coming on?
So you didn't let the dog out, Llama, did you?
No, like I'm just playing fetch with the pups right now because I let them out beforehand, but
Wait, when did you get a dog?
I've had 2 dogs forever, man.
Two.
Yeah.
He
How
took
do I
him
not know
camping when he went to
this?
Colorado. He took him with him when he went to Colorado
Hey.
camping.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Oh, hey, is that Joel?
That's Joel.
It is,
Hey, Joel,
right.
how's it going?
What's up, Joel?
Hey.
So,
Llama, this
Merry
is your
Christmas.
show, so I'm just gonna bow out.
okay.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right. Joel,
Cool.
what have you been up to in the past couple weeks leading up to the election?
Open-ended questions. We like the real open-ended questions.
No, he was telling me earlier about working some shows like a Halloween one, and I wanted to know how it was with COVID working a show.
Oh, hold on. I have a audio loop problem because I forgot to close YouTube.
Oh yeah,
That was really confusing for a second.
Well, hey, we appreciate you watching on YouTube. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you
That
gotta see
happens.
what's going on. I did 3 shows. I'm a video projectionist, video artist. We'll get into what those 3 shows were on Halloween. We did a showing of The Exorcist at the local jam bar, the Poorhouse here in Charleston. And I built a screen and we had a live band behind it, putting a new score on.
Oh, cool.
And every so often when they got into it, I would turn up lights so you could see through the screen and see the band. And that band was Ryan Stasek of Humphreys McGee and 2 other members of Ryan Stasek's Doom Flamingo, Ross Bogan and Stuart White. So we watched the whole movie. Just really, really great, interesting thing. I had a
What instrument does this guy
clip.
play? Because I don't know the names of the people in that band.
Humphreys McGee, the bassist.
The bassist, okay.
Yeah,
So,
and then a couple other people from.
What
Doom
was the
Flamingo.
crowd like? Was it socially distanced?
It was.
For a time.
You bought a table. It
Okay.
has, anywhere from 4 to 6 spots. The tables were far enough apart. As soon as you leave your table, or as soon as you get up from your seat, you put your mask on. Didn't stop people from
That's
standing
outdoors
and
too, though,
dancing.
right? That's in the back.
Yeah, it's outdoors.
If you haven't
Yeah,
been
they
to
have
the
a whole thing.
Poorhouse in Charleston, it's a big outdoor stage. So just to paint the right picture for everybody,
Okay.
it is a pretty open.
It's a basement bar with
Yeah, it's not like 7-foot ceilings and like a city basement. Like it's an outdoor venue. So didn't Andy and Runaway Gin play there this Halloween too, or?
Exactly. That was another one of my shows. I did. So I did the Exorcist show, and then the local band called Sex Brews with a question mark. You have to pronounce Sex Brews.
Brews? Hate when that
Played
happens.
a private venue that they eventually advertised, and they had a decent show there. But the very next night, Halloween proper, Saturday, Runaway Gin, the number
How
one.
was their show?
Weekend Wook. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh
Yeah,
my
they're
goodness.
really good.
There was it was open with Axilla, and then Steam, Wolfman's Brother, Punch You in the Eye, Bold as Love, War Pigs, Obladi Oblada, Santos, Good Times, Bad Times, and then the 9 o'clock show, David Bowie, Carini, Back into Bowie, Harpua, Jump, Secret Song, Van Halen.
In my head, Joel has these memorized, and he did not write them down or is reading off the list at all. He's just cranking them out, like he just knows it.
Do you like how Llama just
Yeah.
left his show? And he didn't even turn off his camera.
I jinxed him. He had to let the dogs out or something.
No, that's cool though. Yeah, have you worked
all
with
this-
Runaway before?
What
This is my first time.
What did
and it was
Sexy
really
Bruises play?
Sex
Sorry.
Brews. They're on Spotify and they're on a few songs on YouTube. They have songs like "When I Pull Up to the Club in My Ford Taurus, All These Bitches Want to Fuck," or
Nice.
"You're Gonna Lose Your Retainer Tonight at the Middle School Dance," or "We're Gonna Pray This Virus Away in the USA."
Oh, I
So
love
they're
it.
So
That's great.
yeah, I highly recommend.
Wait, look,
Sex
say the
Brews?
retainer one more time.
You're gonna lose your retainer at the middle school dance. They make the audience pair off and dance at, well, they used to, at arm's length, and the whole bar is awkwardly leaving space for the Holy Spirit, of course.
Right.
That's
But
so funny.
yeah, it was quite an interesting doing all these shows solo. Just my Kia Soul full of projectors and screens and pipe and drape and
Do you usually have a team?
sandbags. In the future, yes.
Hey,
I've worked
Joel,
with teams. Yep.
hey, Joel. So were these webcast or not?
They weren't. I do have some clips.
No. Well, my question was actually like, have you done lighting and the effects that you do for webcasts yet?
No, but if you check out the Safe Sounds video that Relics put out of Doom Flamingo, so Doom Flamingo played at Firefly Distillery here in Charleston, and they shot that with multiple cameras, and they put it up on Relics' YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's amazing. We did either side of the stage 16-foot screens with video art and cameras and.
That's what I was going to ask is would your approach be any different if you knew it was being webcast as opposed to just being a live show?
I'd probably make sure to record my solo output so they could mix it in, or probably give them a feed.
No, I mean
live feed.
visually speaking.
I've gotten a nice mix of like pre-made, like I made this Van Halen thing that I can then mix with cameras on the fly.
Oh, cool.
And it's been such a great setup here, just doing mixing on this little board that I probably wouldn't,
Okay, that's cool, man. No, that's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got some clips. Here's I don't know if you can see. That's Sex Brews playing over here, and then my video art on a projector there. I might be able to mess with the Zoom settings and give you a live feed of exactly what I'm seeing.
I'll let you share screen. Hold on.
No, I got it. Boom. So there's Sex Brews. Hopefully you can still hear me. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's see. Here's The Exorcist. So you can see the musicians playing behind the screen.
My soul is yours.
And let's see what we have of Runaway Gin. There's a picture, my like ultra wide stuff behind them, and
They dressed up. What did they dress up as?
two of them were cowboys, and Andy was a vampire. I don't think Jen dressed as anything. It was not the most imaginary or not the best costumes. Here's some sound check, and
He does not
believe
have a
I
page rig, does he?
no.
You need you need the
Here's-
piano. You got to have the piano.
Come on, man.
They're in Van Halen.
There we
Oh,
go.
cool.
Nice.
And did they jam
I'm-
jump out like, or was it
Not too much. It was the secret song in Harpua, so
Okay.
they didn't do too much with it.
Have you ever heard the Phil
So-
Lesh one?
Oh, how did post?
Oh,
He does. Phil Lesh
I have,
does a
I have a
35
question about
minute.
that Harpua.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
then
that-
you can tell us about that. I'm sorry, I just had a question about the Harpua. How did Poster Nutbag die in that Harpua?
I've got so much stuff going on. Like after my 3 days in a row, I actually went back to their second show, November 1st, just without having to work. And I was able to actually listen. Like people always, like even the lighting guy will come over and he'd be like, yeah, I think that went really well. It really kept up. And I'm like, I wasn't watching, you know, I got to be ready for the next thing and
Yeah,
setting
I gotcha.
effects and filters. And
I got you. Now I feel
there
doubly
was-
bad for interrupting Kevin.
You
Well,
didn't get your answer. No, Phil Lesh.
yeah, that's all right, Kev. I'm sorry about that.
There's a Phil Lesh show from somewhere in California, maybe 2002, 2001, where he does Jump to open up the set, and it's like 35 minutes long. They like totally go into the Phil Lesh jam thing after the structure of the song. I mean, it isn't like Jump is that long, but the track is listed as being that long.
Okay.
You mean, wait, what do you mean? Jump by Van Halen isn't 35 minutes long?
Well, the track is that long, but after the first 7 minutes of them playing the Jump riff, you know, it morphs into, you know, how Phil walked out and always did those jams that just bloomed out of nowhere. It was one of those things. Why are you smiling at me like that, Chad?
I just wanted him to like break down the Jump jam.
I'll write you a paper.
Thank you. Hey Joel.
Yep.
This is Llama's political show. What's the mood like in South Carolina?
Well, I'm in Charleston, the city, the blue county in a sea of red. I don't know if Columbia went blue or not.
I think
don't
so.
know. I've been out. I was out and about today, and everyone seems great.
Great.
A lot of. I mean, Charleston. You know, I passed by more Democratic signs than anything else downtown. I guess that's the problem. I haven't really left downtown. I haven't been to the suburbs.
Oh man.
But
Yeah, it's
super
a little
happy. I
different.
was talking with all my coworkers today with all the new numbers and the fact that states flipped, Georgia and Philadelphia so far. Everyone
So-
seemed to be on the same page.
Do you think South Carolina could ever flip like Georgia flipped?
I think there's too much rural areas. You know, South Carolina, you've got Charleston, Columbia, maybe Greenville, and
Yeah.
Weren't they the
The
first
rest are-
ones to
There's no
secede?
way. There is no way South Carolina is going to flip. In
That's
near
where the
future.
Civil War started,
Yeah,
right? Was in
It'll
South
be after
Carolina.
Texas.
yeah, we were kind of first shots there and versus secede and blah blah blah.
So we need to keep an eye on your
blah,
state.
blah, versus blah blah blah.
You know the rest of the story.
We
Yeah.
just yada yada South Carolina starting the Civil War.
Who's
We
Greg
are not
Shorts?
our ancestors.
That's
That's
Stardog?
Stardog, yes.
Yeah.
Should I bring him in?
Stardog?
Yeah. whenever you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. Yeah. We can bring him in. I had another question for you there. How's the free time animation on projects working out for you there?
Getting better.
All right. I like
Definitely,
that.
definitely.
I like that.
I've got rich people are still having weddings, which is nice because I'm in that field. So I went out and hung some chandeliers and string bulbs today, but hopefully, I don't know if everyone knows, we'll get some animation projects worked out for the weekend Wook.
Wook Plus.
Very nice.
Llama doesn't like
Sorry.
it when it goes by weekend Wook.
So where's the best barbecue?
Wow.
Where's your go-to spot?
There's only two really in my mind. Lewis Barbecue, which used to be, I think, the pitmaster for Franklin's, and some rich guy flew him out. And Rodney Scott, which is, you can almost see it from my house.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Which I understand is like a bit of a franchise, but
Right.
I just want to
Pretty
let
legit.
Ashley in chat know we're trying to bring him in, but he's connecting.
There he is.
I think there's a signed
working?
fish picture at Sticky
It
Fingers
is working.
downtown. I think Fish have been to the barbecue spot downtown called Sticky Fingers, but it's not good.
Right. How we doing, Stardog?
I'm here. I can't see. I can't see me. Are we Is this? Are you getting my video?
Yes, we see.
Yeah,
you,
we're
yes.
getting your video.
Here we go. Okay. As you can see, I have the blue light portal on behind me to try to manifest the finishing of this election in the proper way.
Is that a Chris Robinson Brotherhood patch?
It is a Chris Robinson Brotherhood patch. Yes.
Nice.
I have been
Nice.
I miss seeing them at the Fillmore, of course. And all shows at the Fillmore for that matter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is this on my phone? I don't get how, or is it on here? Okay, let's see.
You have
Wait,
a
what-
fan. You have a fan in the chat named Ashley.
You.
So, okay. I feel like I'm on delay here. Oh, there we go.
You're good.
Are you watching the YouTube and trying to do this at the same time?
Yes, is that my problem?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's your problem.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the problem.
Okay, I'm turning off the YouTube.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Stardog. First time, long time. Could you please turn your radio off? Thank you.
Oh, nice. So, you used to do something called the X Files.
Yes, so that's kind of how I came to be known as Stardog in the fish community. I was passing out a newsletter on tour in the late 90s, starting in the summer of 97, when I discovered a fish UFO Mayan connection based on the circumstances surrounding the Great Wendt, which took place on the 10-year anniversary of the Mayan harmonic convergence at the former Loring Air Force Base, where there had been a series of documented UFO incidents in 1975. So when the Schweiss arrived in the spring of 97 announcing this event, my mind was just blown, because I'm like, what is going on here? Is Fish putting together this event as an attempt at initiating contact with our hipper ET visitors, Close Encounters of the Third Kind style, a la Music, Light, and Color, right? And so that's what it kind of seemed like. It was hard to really view all that as a coincidence. So I decided that I should print up a newsletter with this information, go on tour, pass it out, tell people to keep their eyes on the skies at Loring. And that was quite a lot of fun. And then the Funky Bitches came along at the end of 1997, and they had a huge gathering at the Lemon Wheel in 1998. And they all knew my name was Greg. But when they would see me, they'd be like, Stardog. And so that's kind of how that all came. And I sort of became the Fox Mulder of the Fish Nation, or the Art Bell, as Dean Budnick once called me when he serialized my X-Files research at jambands.com in a 5-part series in 2002.
Greg, this is so weird. Hi, I'm Chad. It's very nice to meet you, by the way.
Hello.
And hearing you tell that story just brought me back to such a time where I remember that being a thing. Like I'm like, seriously remember that being a thing. And it's such a pleasure to meet you now, because I'm like, oh, that's the dude that did this. I remember that so vividly.
Do you want to give us a quick recap from millennials who were not of age to go to concerts?
Oh, sure. A recap of the Great Wendt?
Of your research.
Well, okay, yeah. So it started with the Great Wendt. And the thing that was so synchronistic about it was that this was right when I was getting deeply into ufology. I was living in Los Angeles trying to do something with my worthless degree in film studies from San Francisco State University. And I decided I should try to write an X-Files script and pitch it to the show, since that was my favorite show. And so, you know, I thought to myself, I should do some serious research. If I was Fox Mulder, what would I be looking into? And I kept reading that Sedona, Arizona was a UFO hotspot because of the energy vortexes there. So I decided I need to go check it out. Drove there. Me and 2 deadhead friends camped out at Cathedral Rock on April 1st, 1997, when the Hale-Bopp comet was at its perihelion, although I didn't know that at the time, closest approach to Earth. And we saw a bright red pulsing orb appear in the sky, and it did dazzling zigzag 90-degree maneuvers for like a minute before it disappeared. And so, that's when my life sort of became its own X-File. And then right after that is when the Schweiss came out announcing the Great Wendt, and was just all incredibly synchronistic. And so, we know Fish has an interest in this topic, scent of a mule, for example. And so there has been a number of, they started with the Great Wendt, it continued, they went back with the Lemon Wheel and there was other stuff with the Mayan calendar, and they love playing on the Mayan New Year, July 26, also Chris Groto's birthday, July 25, the day at a time. They always crush it on those dates. And so it all stems from there. And then that's what led me to pursue investigative reporting as a career and become a journalist, and get more into the socio-political activism that I always wanted to see more of from the psychedelic rock counterculture. And I think it's a really great thing the way Trey has been evolving in that direction in 3.0. Yes, he says he's not political, but it's in the songs. He lets the music do the talking. Fishman is the political voice of the band, and I think it's very admirable how they've been stepping that up here against Trump's foul domain.
Nice. So exactly how are you handling this?
Chad, I think
election?
you're muted.
How? Am I?
Oh, Chad, did you have a question? Unmute, Chad.
He's saying he
How
doesn't
am I
have a
handling this
question.
prolonged process?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I've been doing this week is I've been trolling a group of right-wing Fish fans that normally I just can't stand these people because they're just such cult members with their endless regurgitation of right-wing propaganda. But here's the really ironic thing about it. A girl who was a co-founder of the Funky Bitches, the greatest Fish fan organization ever in the late 90s, which really helped create a kinder, gentler scene and safer touring for ladies and everything. This girl, Allison, she turned to the dark side of the force, and not only is a Republican, but became a full-on Trump minion propaganda pushing person. And so total turn to the dark side, complete betrayal of her history. And so this is her group. So I go in, I've been in there just giving them hell, just speaking truth to power. It is called, what is this stupid group called?
That doesn't matter. We don't need to give them any spotlight.
I want to know.
It's funny because it's a kind of a dumb name too, which is just part of what makes it amusing. Here it is. Republicans and Pet Trolls, a sparkly rainbow party tent.
That sounds like sarcasm.
Sparkly rainbow colored deplorable party tent. No, the name sounds sarcastic, but they're serious. These are like right-wing people, and they're not all Fish fans, but there's a number of right-wing Fish fans in this group. And so I've enjoyed sort of sticking it to them this week. And I just to me, I don't understand how you can be a big Fish fan and be a Republican, because you're completely missing the message of the band. Likewise for right-wing deadheads.
So can you be a Fish fan and a libertarian?
Okay, see, that's where I think we've seen things really devolve, because like just take Allison, for example. She was still tolerable like in 2013 when she was just like a Rand Paul fan. And you could see she was drifting right wing, but she hadn't become a complete GOP death cult zombie. And now her transformation to the dark side became complete with Trump's weaseling into the White House, because then she was just pushing Trump propaganda nonstop. And it's just how these people are. They're just totally so delusional, and they just repeat all the cliched right-wing propaganda. And so it's just I don't get it. I think it's puzzling to a lot of us. I know.
Do you think?
Yes.
When's the last time you saw a UFO?
Okay, it's been a while. I had a handful of sightings in 1997 and 98, and the UFO that I saw at the Lemon Wheel was actually the fourth and last one. And this was
do you hold on? Do you only see UFOs at festivals?
No. I saw two in Sedona, 2 in Sedona, Arizona, and I saw 2 in Limestone, Maine. Yeah.
I swear to God, I levitated out of Arizona once. I swear to God, I actually made it an
Sedona
inch off the
is a
ground.
magical place. A magical place. That's why it's a UFO hotspot, because of the energy vortexes there. It's also sacred Native American ground, you know.
You think with cell phones there'd be more pictures of UFOs?
Yeah, but you know, a photo from a phone is never going to prove the UFO cover-up. So it's really about the evidence. And so there, you know, what's really been the big story these past few years is how a punk rock star quit his band, and then suddenly pushed the UFO disclosure movement further than it's been in decades. And I'm talking about Tom DeLonge, of course, and his organization, To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. And they have forced the New York Times to report on these Navy sightings. And so, and now you had the fucking Marco Rubio coming out and saying he wants to start a UAP task force and that have the Pentagon report to Congress. This is historic stuff that's been going down. And gosh, it's
Wow.
really great to see this buzz for UFO disclosure stronger now than it has been since 1997, maybe.
Wow.
Speaking of exposure, where do you fall on Richard Hoagland? You mentioned Art Bell earlier. You must be a Richard Hoagland fan.
I was a huge fan of Hoagland when I was listening to the Art Bell show like religiously in the late 90s, because there wasn't much other place to get that kind of information. And so I don't see him on the scene very much these days. Do you? Because I've been kind of wondering what he's up to.
The Mars thing kind of dried up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was sort of like, and we got better pictures of Mars now, and
yeah,
you know
that did. But still, I mean, Unidentified. All your viewers should watch that show. That's the show that follows Tom DeLonge and Luis Elizondo and To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. And their evidence. Very good show on the History Channel, showing them, trying to move the ball down the field here.
Talk to me about Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes, that's interesting. Skinwalker Ranch, a site of paranormal
Crazy
phenomena that the government seems to be very interested in. So
yeah, I'm interested.
What do you think about the water that they just announced on the moon?
I haven't put too much thought into that, but it's not shocking. It's interesting. It's part of the slow trickle.
I have thoughts about the water on the moon in case you were sincerely interested.
Okay.
Sincerely, let's hear it.
So
I am.
I mean, it's not really that interesting. It's not like a lake or an ocean or like a frozen glacier. It's just H2O particles that are dispersed through the lunar soil. So, but what's exciting about it is that it costs a shit ton to transport water and fuel into space, right? But if you separate hydrogen and oxygen, if you separate the molecules, you have a fuel source on the moon. So the potential for deeper travel into the solar system, right? Like man to travel to Mars, just got so much. The possibilities just got so much more wide open now that there are H2O molecules through the lunar soil, but it's only in very specific dark areas of the moon. So, I mean, there's a lot of research that needs to happen.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean this in all seriousness.
Yeah.
I had a public education from the South. How does going to the Mars via stopping for fuel on the moon make it a shorter trip? Or how does that save gas?
To me,
well,
that's
because the Earth's gravitational pull is a lot stronger than the moon's. So the amount of fuel you need to get off of the Earth, plus the weight to have enough fuel to get to Mars, makes it even more fuel to get off of the Earth. So it's all super expensive. So if you could actually go to the moon as a step point, right, like a rest stop, and you could go there ahead of time, establish a moon base, develop fuel, and then send a manned crew to the moon on its way to Mars and refuel at the moon. And it takes a lot less energy to get off of the moon on your trajectory to Mars. So it's really just about the economics of it.
The answer is wait, Llama.
Wait,
That's
yeah.
all a huge red herring. We have the technology from the recovered extraterrestrial crafts, and so this is
Yes!
part. Yeah, we've got it. It's being suppressed because
I got a
when
bracket to finish. Carry on.
when free energy comes out, it's going to wipe out the fossil fuel monopolies, and so that's why they're going to fight tooth and nail to suppress it.
Fuck
Joel,
yeah.
how's
Which-
UFOs down there? Have you ever seen any UFOs in South Carolina?
Not personally. I try to go off on subjects that I can contribute to, or at least it's like UFOs and 9/11 truthers share that whole thing that no one really wants to talk about it. I'm being
No,
negative.
That.
I'm
No,
so
no,
sorry.
that-
Oh,
That's like so unfair, especially because 9/11 was an inside job, and
Bam!
but there's so much evidence for UFOs, and we're seeing that now again.
Joel has
Follow
you
Tommy
pegged.
along.
He has you pegged, Greg.
Okay, that's okay. I'm used to the skeptics. Although I wasn't trying to dominate this session with UFO talk, because what we're really talking about is the political revolution here, right? That's what we
I
want to
got a
focus
question.
on.
I got a question for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
If I could start, I'll start with Llama since it's
good.
a show.
I'm really excited about this.
Do you think
I am so
Trey
too.
will acknowledge the election with a song? Do you think he'll do a
Absolutely.
special cover?
Trey always knows what time it is, and he'll
Yes.
do it in a subtle yet clear manner. People say, "Oh, Trey's not political," but he lets the music do the talking. You look at songs like "More" and "Rise Up, Come Together," everything's right. He's getting at a very socially.
so what does he
conscious-
open with tonight to send out his message?
Oh,
Hit the
boy,
road, Jack.
There's so many possibilities.
I want
So many
Philadelphia Freedom.
possibilities.
I want Philadelphia Freedom to open the show.
Oh,
I think that would be fun.
I'd certainly love to hear "Rise Up, Come Together" tonight. I think that's got to happen.
that's got to be the closer. That's got to be the closer.
Okay, yeah. It could be anywhere.
Right, but I mean, just to
So-
leave on that note,
Yeah, and it
Right?
always is in their set list. It always falls toward the end of the second set,
Yeah.
like with Fish.
It was great how he played Lizards last week, or was that 2 weeks ago?
was
I've
2
always
weeks.
been a very strong proponent of the Gamehenge allegory for modern America. Some people try to be like, "Oh, Gamehenge is just a story," and it's like, no, Gamehenge is way deeper.
Let's hear
than
this
that.
allegory. Let's hear it.
Oh yeah. There's so many levels of it. So, starting with Wilson took the Helping Friendly book and declared whoever possessed it was a crook. That is a metaphor for Uncle Sam criminalizing psychedelics in the 60s. And then you get at songs like AC/DC Bag, brain dead and made of money, no future at all. Doing things smart people don't do. That's like that theme runs through AC/DC Bag and Lizards and Wilson and Punch You in the Eye. And it's totally there. And the people who try to deny that are in denial. And so, it's just, and then the new songs. Remember, July 4th, 2010, Trey told us that all Fish's songs tell a tale of American history, the true tale of American history. And so, I think we're seeing that more socially conscious movement ever since then. You see Trey's songwriting evolving in that direction. I love it.
What do you think, Joel, about tonight? You think he's going to do anything special?
I missed the last two. Can we do is Alive again taken?
No, I
'Cause
don't think
that
so.
would that'd be pretty cathartic. The
Why
time
would
has
that be
come.
a statement? Oh, your time has come. Okay.
Yeah, the time has come
Okay.
for you to
Okay,
be
I'm down with
alive
that,
again.
yeah.
And like the whistle
Yeah.
blasts and everything, like I get down. Better than like a Cayman review.
Right. What
Yes.
about you, Chad? What do you think?
Burlap sack and pumps.
Okay.
Tell us how you really feel.
Burlap sack and pumps. Bring it back.
You're back. All right.
Did I mention woo?
What about you, Llama? What do you want, ma'am?
I don't know. I think I want a. Maybe
I think these roundtable questions are a terrible idea, and I think we figured that out in like week 2 of the lot. But
Llama should-
way to go,
Hold on.
way to go, Kev.
Wook.
What?
You stepped on your own joke. I was taking forever to answer a question.
I know, My patience is run thin this week, though. All of the patience capacity I have, I am putting towards not, this election. So I couldn't handle that kind of joke right now. You know what I think? I think, Greg, you have a very good statistical memory. Do you have like photographic memory, or are you just tied up? Because like you're spitting off data like stats and show dates and everything. Like, are you particularly good at dates and things?
Yes, I am known for my recall of set lists and dates where certain songs were played in certain mind-blowing ways. I think it goes back to being a sports fan and memorizing baseball and football statistics when I was a kid. And so
I'm so jealous of that, though. I wish, I imagine that comes in handy as a Fish fan, right? Like, and I've always been like jealous of the fans that are like, oh yeah, 11, 12, 94, like blah, blah, blah. And
my
I'm like,
second show. Yeah. And so, yeah, right there. There you go. Yes. And so $15 student tickets at Kent State for my buddy of mine that was attending the school at the time. And so, yeah, I was just a casual fan back then until New Year's 95. That was where Fish blew my mind and revealed to me that the music gods had provided a next generation to take the torch from the
I can
Grateful
name
Dead.
random numbers, and I bet there's gonna be stories that come out of this group. Like, oh,
How many shows have you seen?
Okay.
haven't we gotten away from the flex thing? Jesus.
No, not yet.
You're killing all the bits. Everything.
Yeah, it's not about
It's like
flexing.
boop,
It's
boop,
just-
boop, boop.
I
killed him
was
on the
blessed
lot,
to.
but not on that.
I was the last night at Shoreline in 2000 on the fall tour before the hiatus was my 100th show, and then I've managed to get another 100 plus in 3.0, and so I'm up to 226.
Nice.
Nice.
Which
you
really
did
blew
know-
my mind. Dix brought me to 226, and it was only a little while later I realized that is exactly twice the number of Grateful Dead shows that I saw with Jerry.
Oh,
Wow. That's
wow.
heavy, man. So you did no 2.0.
I saw a few 2.0, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got a couple in there.
A few, yeah, I saw a few. Not a lot. I was there at Coventry, of course. I had to hike like 7 freaking miles to get in.
My brother.
Yeah.
My brother.
And so, but something else I wanted to talk about today, since we're on the political theme.
Yeah.
So, I've always been into that Gamehenge connection of being socially conscious. So in 2011, when the Occupy movement was happening, I created the Occupy Gamehenge page on Facebook to share like internet actions with people. Yeah, that was me. And then in 2015, I created the Fans for Bernie Sanders group, and I'm pretty proud of that. We have over 3,000 members, and I think we did a great job of rallying for the political revolution. It was a shame to see the DNC coup to stop Bernie again this year when he was winning. He was winning before they consolidated behind Biden, but that's okay. And so that was a lot of fallout there. There was a lot of angry leftists who, wanted to rant and rave and do the burning or bust thing. And I had regrets about that from 4 years ago, because I kind of was part of that 4 years ago. And I allowed the group to turn into a kind of burning or bust zone. And I voted green in California in 2016 because I thought Hillary had it rigged. I thought it was all, But so now we've seen Trump's foul domain is proven the greater evil by far. So when Bernie waved the white flag this time, I was like, that's it. We're not going to have any burning or bust in this group. And that was a Democratic thing. There was a Democratic vote. People didn't want it. So about 200 people wound up leaving the group to form their own radical leftist fans group. Well, that's fine. But we didn't want to hear that toxic busterism. When we need to dump Trump, then we can take on the neolibs. We know that Biden's not the savior, but the first step is getting rid of Trump, and then the political revolution is going to be up in Biden's grill from day 2 come January 21st.
You're fired up, man. You're so fired up. I love it.
Hell yes. To me, this makes Fish more special. The way that Trey has become more socially conscious, the way that John Fishman is ranting against Trump every day for the past 4 years. And, this is what I want from the bands that I love. And I always wanted Fish to be a little more socially conscious, and that's what they've become. And let's not forget that more was written in 2016. We were already living in a world gone mad before Trump weaseled his way into the White House.
So what's the next step then for your group come January 21st? Like, what do you plan on doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's activism. It's political revolution activism to push Biden and Harris to the left. And, you know, so we're going to, the squad has just doubled in size. That is huge, you know,
Nice.
now from 4 to 8. And so that's going to be big. And, you know, Bernie's going to have more power. He's going to get some kind of chairmanship. And so there's a synergy here. And so the radical leftists who want to whine that Biden's, you know, the same as Trump. No, he's not the same as Trump. And yes, you can air your neoliberal dirty laundry. There's plenty of it. And so we have to stay aware of that. There's no turning the clock back to 2009 this time. This time we're going eyes wide open and we're right up on them from the start.
All right. All right.
Hey, so is your I'm changing the subject slightly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you this because we've had Justin on the show. Is your guys' shit real, or is that more of a fabricated thing? Because you both seem to be pretty fired up, but some of it almost seems like satirical or like characters. So I'm talking about
between me and Justin.
Yeah, is that a real beef?
It turned into one, unfortunately, because of his pathological delusion. We used to be very much like kidding each other. And then
because he seems to, like, politically to be, I mean,
No,
fairly
we were
liberal,
pals.
and
we were pals until like it was last year. I had to block him. He was just getting so obnoxious on Twitter, and
well, he's off
just
Twitter
trying
now,
to-
I think.
Okay,
I think
good. He was
pushed
getting
it too
incredibly
far with,
obnoxious.
Trump.
He was trying to accuse me of like harassing Little Nug or something just because I like talked to her like other. Fish
Ironically,
fans
he
do.
harassed her too, I think.
I know. Yeah, the dude. He's good at heart, but he's got some issues, and he just like doesn't know when to quit.
I feel like Andy and I are both in the same position of like being fans of both of your guys, but like we're always in the middle. But
Well, yeah,
you're both
we had that
welcome.
friendly
And
debate on glow sticks last year. That was fun. That was like a year and a half ago.
yeah, we'll have to maybe
crushed him.
redo something one day.
Yeah.
And
If he, you know, he owes me an apology for being such an asshole, and if he would do that, then you know.
should do like a Maury show
I
or
think-
something.
I kind of want to take
Didn't
that
we
to
do that
like
way
a
with
different.
Halloween?
Is there a path to like? Because right now you're trolling and just making fun of Trump supporters, but like, what happens
No,
3
I'm
months
not
down
just
the
making fun
line?
of them. I'm speaking truth to power. I'm trying to
Right.
get through to them. I know
Okay.
that it's almost next to impossible to get through to these people because they're so brainwashed. But I'm not just trolling them. I am like throwing down facts and truth and like trying to just like get through to somebody. Yeah, there's got to be a purpose behind it. And so that's why I went back into that group last week. I had an old fish friend from Cleveland who's not active on social media, and he was giving me shit because Trey hasn't come out and openly denounced Trump. And I'm like, dude, read between the lines. It's like they raised so much money for head count this summer, and Fishman is the political voice of the band. But he's mad because he sees these right-wing Fish fans trolling in the comment section on Dinner and a Movie and stuff. And so that makes him angry. And so I'm like, these people, these right-wing Trump fans, they are less than 2% of the Fish fan base, in my opinion.
Ooh. I'm gonna throw you another one, but this is way from left field. All right.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on Goose?
I like what I've seen from the Goose so far. I have yet to be able to catch them live. And so right now I think, I don't know. I still haven't seen them live, so I really can't even judge. I've seen friends rave about them, and they very much impressed me earlier this year when I caught a part of a webcast where they covered my favorite Father John Misty song, I'm Writing a Novel. That was impressive. And so obviously they're good at the jamming. I think comparing them to Fish is a bit premature. As far as, to me, they're very similar to Spafford and Twiddle. So people who like to hate on Twiddle, but then fluff on Goose, to me, there's not that big a difference there. And so, but I'm all for the jam band scene being one large friendly scene. I don't see, we don't have to have these rivalries. It's not about being, it's, teamwork. Back when Jerry passed away, that was what was so devastating in the summer of 1995. The Grateful Dead weren't just the best at what they did, they were the only ones that did what they did, like Bill Graham said in that classic quote. And that was true for a long time. And then when I'd seen Fish a handful of times and I liked them, but I still wasn't connecting them to that level until the Gamehenge Time Creation Laboratory. And then that just blew my mind. And it was just it was like such a revelation that night that about how the connection between Fish and the Grateful Dead. And then that was proven out in the late 90s with, Fish wishing Jerry a happy birthday at Shoreline in 97, and then busting out Terrapin in 98, and then Trey and Page being Phil's friends for his comeback shows
And
in
Kesey,
99.
when
Yeah.
Kesey jumped in with him at Darien
Oh,
Lake.
at Darien Lake, that was epic. Yeah, that was a true passing of the torch. Kesey's like, the Bozos haven't been seen for 2 years, but now here they are. I mean, yeah, to get that 2 weeks after Trey had wished happy birthday to Jerry on his guitar at Shoreline, that was just like such a special tour. And those were two such very special moments. And I'm vibrating with love and light just thinking about it.
That's awesome, man. Hey, Joel, I want to get where you're at on Ancient Aliens. Where are you at?
I mean,
Joel's never coming on any of our shows ever again.
Like redheads are aliens.
Life is
No,
but a
where
dream,
is
and anything is possible in a dream. The same thing that tells you what you are tells you what you aren't, and it's this weird I amness of life. We think we're visiting these bodies when really we grew out of this world like a leaf on a tree. So, I mean, sure, like, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum.
Wow,
What does
that
that
was a way deeper. That was a way deeper answer than I was expecting.
I just blew your freaking mind.
Just blow it in the wind, man.
I'll just say one thing about that. The evidence for extraterrestrial visitation to Earth since practically the dawn of time is overwhelming.
Oh, nobody asked you, Greg.
Sure.
Nobody asked.
I have one question for you. You know those straight lines that are down in South America that nobody knows what they're for?
Which part of South America are we talking about?
It's a landing pad, man.
Yeah,
The Nazca lines in Peru?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, probably something along the lines of, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. There's a lot of truth in these
Everyone's
movies,
favorite.
right?
There has to be
Underrated movie. And part of what's underrated about it is the deep intel, where Indiana Jones turns out to be one of the experts who is called in to view the Roswell wreckage. And then the Ark winds up getting kept at Area 51. And so you get into this whole connection between the Ark and the Nazis and the pursuit of mysticism and the UFO cover-up. It's all connected.
At the time of filming, Harrison Ford was older than Sean Connery was when he played his dad.
Oh my God.
That's cool.
Deep. Yeah.
Poor Sean
So I
Connery.
was having like a Mandela effect when Sean Connery passed away the other day, because I was flashing back to Crystal Skull and thinking, wait, they had the picture of Sean Connery on Indy's desk like he had already died. And so I was thinking he had passed away already. And so when they said that Sean Connery passed away the other day, I was like, wait a minute, am I in an alternate timeline now? What's going on?
That happens.
Everyone, do yourself a favor and watch Zardoz, Zardoz, a Sean Connery movie from the
Is that
60s.
an early one?
Oh.
Okay.
Early one.
If
I
you've
saw it
ever seen a
recommended
picture
recently.
of Sean Connery in like a red Speedo and like bandoliers and a big mustache and like a ponytail and he's like running on the beach, it's this sci-fi trippy epic about gods abducting Sean Connery and wanting to extract death from him because the gods want to die, and like it's bonkers. In the first 15 minutes, like a giant stone head comes down and vomits guns onto Sean Connery and his horse riding friends.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay, I need to
It's-
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Zardoz,
Yeah,
please watch
Man, I'm all
Zardoz.
in. I'm all in.
It does sound like a good dinner and a movie. Hey,
Indeed.
are they cutting away to the barn again early tonight or no?
No,
I haven't heard about that.
but there
No.
is a poster being released at 11 o'clock.
11
Okay,
o'clock?
so
Yeah,
Poster?
11 after the show, they're releasing a poster. Trey posted about it.
Oh, I have
Okay.
not heard about that.
Sure.
Have you seen this said poster?
No, yeah, they Ryan, young Ryan retweeted it. There you go.
That right there's our producer behind the scenes throwing up.
Was this an official tweet from Trey's account?
There you go.
Yes, it was from Trey's account. Yes,
All right, I'm looking this up right now.
yes, there it is.
Joel's showing it to us.
All right. There we
Hey,
go.
I'm gonna talk.
I like it.
I'm gonna talk
Okay,
real quick.
visit Bottleneck
Maybe
at
the
11
camera comes to
Eastern,
me.
commemorating tonight's edition of the Beacon Jams. Ooh, there's like a glowing girl with a
It's too bad. It's too bad Stardog's not looking at the camera because Joel's been showing it to you for like a minute now.
He has?
Oh, really?
Okay.
That's all right. It's all right.
I
That's
did
all right.
luck out. I did luck out scoring the Pollock, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, there you go.
I still need. I missed the Sigma Oasis poster. It was in my cart, and then all of a sudden it said no inventory left. That was frustrating. So then I felt redeemed when I got the Beacon Pollock.
I think life on Earth was birthed from Mars. I think we were a civilization on Mars at one point.
That's
and
part of
then-
Jose Arguelles's theory. If you've ever read his stuff, the Mayan scholar prophet who foresaw the Mayan harmonic convergence of 1987, and so he
Yeah.
wrote about this stuff. Yeah, I recommend all of your viewers should read his book, Surfers of the Zavuya, and which was a mind-blowing.
We got to stop
during my
giving our
spiritual
few
awakening
viewers
in
homework. These guys are
1997.
not
It's a
high
good read.
level, high upper.
This is a very readable
It's like the
book.
fifth homework assignment we've assigned tonight.
It talks
Look,
about
this is good
how.
shit.
I'll sum it up right here. In this book, Jose lays out a lot of deep stuff, and he does it in a very accessible format, including how the Mayan calendar is an index that syncs Earth's 3D frequency with the universal 4D frequency, and that fourth dimensional time is recreated or brought into being here in the third dimension through the overtones of music, light, and color. And so when I
Yeah,
read
but the
that, I was
temporal
like,
dimension is on Earth too.
Grateful
That's
Dead,
just a
Fish,
function of math.
well, yes, but we are in the third dimension here. And so part of evolving to a higher collective consciousness is realizing that time is not linear. And that's part of what the Mayan calendar is here for, to teach us this lesson. And so time is circular, past, present, and future all exist at once. And that's
Like a
something we
donut.
don't realize trapped
Like a
in this.
donut.
Or a
Like
bagel.
a donut.
Or a bagel.
Hey, so I didn't get this bracket done, but we have like 20 minutes left, and I'm probably gonna dip. So
we got like 10 minutes left, man.
Or
You
10
gotta
minutes
give people
left.
time to switch over to Twitch.
So I want to just
They need
I
10
want to
minutes.
announce the first play-in matches that are going to go out tomorrow.
Oh,
Get your
shit.
reaction on them. And then I'll probably finish it tonight and debut the bracket tomorrow. In case you guys don't know, whoever's watching, or Greg or Joel, the next bracket, as decided by Fish Twitter, is the Fish Show bracket. So it's 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, all
Aha.
involved.
It
I
was
think
it was so surprising that won.
we all wanted the Marvel bracket internally, but what are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
I wanted a TV show bracket.
So I limited it down to 72 shows. And I think we're only going to do 1 or 2 matches a day so that you can really dig into the show. So this is going to be a long bracket.
Oh, God.
But fuck it. We don't have anything else going on. Right?
Well, no, nothing. Nothing's happening right now.
Now, keep in mind, these play-in matches
We can
are,
read the
are
books
the
while we
bottom,
listen.
a lot of bottom seeds. So they're not like, I don't want you to be like, oh, I can't believe that made it. It's a play-in match. All right. So just relax. All right. So the first one is the 3.0 play-in match. It is 12:30-17 versus 12:30-18. It's an MSG face-off. Both of those were the best shows of those runs, I think.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah. And then the second play-in match this weekend is actually a festival night versus a festival night. It's 8/3/03 from It Festival versus 8/21/15 from Magnaball.
Is that the
Ooh,
Ghost
that's
show?
a tough one.
Is that the It Ghost? The 03?
That first night of Magnaball was super dope.
Yeah, I gotta go with
Super.
Magnaball on that one, man.
Is
Yeah,
it
Unfortunately,
Razor
it was the one I missed at the Loring Air Force Base. So, but this sounds like a good bracket.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, I know I'm terrible at dates and shit, so I don't expect people to just be like, oh, and recite this playlist. But That's why we're gonna take it slow, so you have time to go in, check out the set list, listen to a couple of the songs.
That's a good idea. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Also, Joel, you look like a Mandalorian fan. Are you a Mandalorian fan?
I was a bit disappointed in the last episode. It
What?
just seemed
Oh,
a
I
bit.
haven't watched
Thank
it yet.
you.
No
Thank
spoilers.
you. Huge disappointment.
I haven't watched it.
Really?
Is that a
Just
spaceman
massive-
behind you? Joel?
Massive problems with
It's-
this.
It is a VJ loop. It sort of tells a story about a spaceman, but I fell out of Star Wars a good while ago. It's a story about space wizards for children, so I get it. I loved it, and I still will love what I loved about it, but parts of the first season of Mandalorian were super cool. But now
How old are you?
I'm 36.
So we're like right at that age where you're not
You're
quite
right.
old enough.
Yeah.
No, but you're not quite old enough to have fallen for the magic of the original trilogy, but you're too old
Word.
to have fallen for the prequels. So you're in that cusp of like not getting it, right? Like getting the
That's what it sounds like.
No, I'm exactly in the same boat because I don't even watch the Star Wars.
Star Wars is a vehicle by which to understand the meaning of life.
Boom, pal.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yes, the Jedi religion. I am a long time, yeah.
In what, Alabama with all the
No, but I'm not even judging. I'm just saying that that's a known thing. There's like
A known
there
thing.
was a time
Exactly.
period where you were too young to get the original trilogy, right?
Yeah.
But you were
Yeah.
too old when the prequels came out to
Yeah.
get into it like that. There's a
Dude,
whole
but
generation.
we
of
had
people that
Howard the Duck.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm in that age group. I just happen to like older shit than I am.
Okay.
You know.
Well, it's because you had an
Yeah,
older
maybe.
brother, though.
Yeah, it's 'cause I had an
Joel,
older
do you have an
brother.
older brother?
Older sister.
There you go.
I don't know
I
how
don't think
So you like
3.0
Care Bears.
kids-
You're into Care
Oh, that
Bears.
3.0
explains
kids
everything.
can't understand how life-altering Star Wars was for us children of the 70s.
Oh, sure.
It's probably as life altering as Nintendo was for us.
Far more.
Oh,
Jedi
no, I
religion-
don't know.
The Jedi
though.
religion has guided my life ever since 1977.
Oh, I'm all about Star Wars, but Nintendo though is like Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers 3.
No, come on. You're not even comparing Mario Brothers to Star Wars. Come on.
No, but if you combine Mario with The Legend of Zelda, I think you're starting to get to Star Wars level.
Video games are fun.
No,
but
Come
but no.
on, man.
Oh,
on.
okay.
No.
How many
Final Fantasy.
how many more cliches can we argue about? Are we Mac
Or
versus PC
civilization.
next? Are we Android versus iPhone?
What the fuck? I actually like Nintendo.
Okay,
It's
okay,
a-
so
I'm with you. I like Nintendo.
Like,
That's why I brought it
There's
up.
a reason it's a cliche. It's because like a majority of people like
And
that
that's the
shit.
whole thing, though, too. For us, it was something brand new, and the technology was new, sort of like how seeing things in color was with Star Wars. Is that what was special about it?
There were color movies before Star Wars.
My youngest once asked me, we were watching a black and white movie, and she said, "Was the world in color then?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Was the world in color?" I was like, "Yeah, the movie's just black and white. The world was
That's cute.
Mm.
Oh man, I'm
Wait,
exhausted
no.
now.
How when you say your youngest, how young was she when she asked that question?
Oh,
That's the-
4 or
This was
5.
yesterday.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was
Yesterday.
We were
Oh,
actually watching the original Christmas
Oh,
Carol
God,
movie, the
God,
real old
guys,
one.
I'm sorry. It was breaking news. The goddamn GOP death cult is asking the Supreme Court to halt the Pennsylvania vote count. This is fascism in
Good.
action.
Good.
Trump's foul
Biden's
domain
winning.
of greed and
Halt
avarice.
it. Stop counting.
those
Stop the
guys.
count. We won. That's the
Yeah.
fucking idiocracy.
Oh, yeah.
the
That's a
Idiocracy.
movie that talks about the future for sure.
A movie that has evolved from
boy.
satire into horror film, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, stop the count and Biden wins. So, like, I don't even understand what the fuck he's going for there.
Thank you very much. Viva la
That's all he's got.
All right,
Right?
Elvis.
Yeah, what
That's
is
all
he
he
going
does.
for
All
there?
right, all right.
And that's all he does is appeal.
Yeah.
Like just tie things up in court as long as possible. That's all he's
if
got.
I whine enough, somebody will let me win. No, fuck you, dude.
There
We're
was-
gonna remove your ass.
There was a lower third on like MSNBC last night. It was like Trump threatens to bring in Supreme Court, not sure why. It's just,
Just to give you an update too, I don't know if you care, but Arizona's not looking good right now. Trump's averaging around 59-60%. So if he maintains that pace, he'll catch up to Biden. But not that it's going to matter.
How many electoral votes is Georgia though?
Georgia, I think
Georgia's
it's 16. Yeah.
I would
Arizona's
definitely
11.
much rather win Georgia than Arizona.
Well, and Pennsylvania's 20. I mean,
yeah.
Pennsylvania alone does it.
Philadelphia.
Woo!
Philadelphia. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
All right, yeah.
This was probably a mistake.
No, it was great.
Stardog. Thank you, Joel, for coming on. It's been great.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
Yeah, hopefully we'll hear something tonight about the election. If not, drink lots. Someday this will pass. But everybody have a good night. Enjoy the show. Talk to you guys later.
Oh, we're
Party
done?
on.
Apparently.
we have time to refill our beers and
All
go
right,
over to
peace.
Twitch, man.
Pound your beer. We got to hit the show.
Oh,
man.
we should
Found it.
start a Twitch channel.
We should start a
All right.
Twitch channel.
Burlap sack and pumps.